Have to shine away for sure. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Welcome back to the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning, Sean Garvey. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Beat Break Radio. Don't forget to download the Podcast FM app to your mobile device. That is the Podcast FM app, available wherever you get your app. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and Star Kells, who is in Africa right now. Joining with us on the Beat Break Morning Show, an actor, of course. He's doing a lot of big things. You can check him out on Mayor of Kingston on the Paramount Plus network. I'm already addicted to the show just by watching the first episode, so I got a lot of binge watching to do. And this gentleman that I'm about to bring on right now is giving me more reasons to check out the show and other projects he's working on. Marcus Brandon on the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. What's up, my brother? Appreciate you having me, man. Thanks for hosting me.
Man, I appreciate you for coming on and talking to us, man. You know, I always love actors and actresses doing a lot of great things on television and film, on screen, off screen, because that's the platform. You know, we work on the platform for up and coming new and established actors and actresses doing great things, man. You heard me just say Mayor of Kingston. Of course, I'm already addicted to the show. You know how whenever you watch a television show, right? Yeah. And at first, you know, you hear about it, you be like, oh, you know, I don't have time to watch it. I'm doing so many different things at one time. Yeah. But as soon as you watch the first episode, you start to get hooked on it, right? And then you know, you want to watch the second and third. And next thing you know, you already watching the entire season. You looking forward to season 2 and season 3. So we're going to get into that. But we got a lot to unpack and learn about you, Marcus Brandon. Military household. You grew up in a military household and you spent a lot of your childhood in Europe. So talk to us about that journey, being, you know, growing up in a military household.
Yeah. It was definitely different. It wasn't the traditional childhood that many people hear about, but it was a gift and a curse. It was a blessing because my parents come from humble beginnings, and it gave my pops, a way out from Moss Point, Mississippi, and he wanted to see more in the world. He wanted to be able to have afford a better life, and the military was a way for him to get out. And through the military, he was able to meet my moms, and they made it happen. And we was off to the races from there. I've lived in so many different diverse backgrounds, man. I lived in trailer parks and projects and suburbs, Europe, the southern states of America. So there's not a lot of group of people that you can't throw me in the room with, and I can't relate to them. But growing up in the military really just gave me, because I got to travel and see Europe at a young age and see other cultures, I think it gave me a more open mind at a younger age than some people are typically privileged to. And I'm very grateful for that, because it definitely lends its hands to my acting.
Yeah, you know, and also experiencing different cultures around the world and just in Europe. Like, what else have you learned on your journey traveling around the world? You know, as a person who not only advocates mental health, but I also advocate for traveling and just learning different cultures and stuff like that. Like, you know, what other things did you pick up being brought up in that particular environment?
Yeah, I think, as I mentioned, just being more open-minded, because I see that, you know, the globe doesn't revolve around just America, United States of America. It doesn't just revolve around Marcus. There are so many different lives and lifestyles and cultures out here that everybody has their own traditions, their own etiquette, their own way of living, and be able to see that there's not just one way to go about this on this planet, and understanding that some people are born to more fortunate situations than others. And it lets you know sometimes how lucky you can be being in the shoes that you are. And you might think that especially in the United States of America, think that, you know, you might be struggling or think that you want more. We always want more, but when you
Yeah.
really get out into the world, you really see how fortunate you can be, and being grateful for the things that you do have, because a lot of people are not as fortunate. But also I just got to see how loving the world can be as well, and how open arms parts of the world can be, especially when there's a lot of harsh parts of this world, but there's a lot of loving people out there, and people
Yeah.
who are welcoming. And having that as a kid really, I think, instilled in myself as well. I think I like to be as open-minded and welcoming to people's differences, and the way people, you know, perceive and subjectively walk through this world, man. And just understanding how people, you know, humans work in general. We all just work different.
Yeah, it's so amazing you say that, because I think people who don't travel or get out of their comfort zone, they are simply closed-minded. They think that they know all the answers by, you know, just going by what the news say to them, or just by reading newspapers and stuff like that. But you really don't know unless you travel, unless you get out of your comfort zone and you go to all these different places. And like, don't just go to these different places just for fun, or just to say, hey, I went here and I went there. But it's also a learning experience, an educational experience, to learn different cultures and to have that sense of humility and that sense of humanity for people. Yeah.
That's big, man. Immerse yourself in that culture. Definitely, if you don't have a passport, get yourself a passport. It's worth the.
I had this premonition that you was about to say that. Like, if you don't have a passport, get you one.
Yeah, man. That's sad. Like, I forgot what the statistic is. I don't usually quote statistics, but I know it's a high number of people in the United States of America that does not have a passport and have never been out the country. And I personally think that's a shame. Not that there's a lot of beautiful parts of America, United States of America, a lot of parts I still haven't explored, but there's just so much more in this world. And you should have don't limit yourself because you don't have a passport. You know, at least give yourself the opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Another fun fact about you is that you are a proud member of Kappa Alpha Phi fraternity. Why do I continue to keep coming across members of you all? Yeah.
Kappa Alpha Psi is the best, man. Yo.
Wow.
Yo to all the noobs.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you?
I loved it. I enjoyed it very much. A lot of my very close friends to this day come by way of being a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I do take that and tell people that don't define your life by it. It's not something that you have to be in. It's not something that you should go out and sacrifice things to be in, but it is a privilege to be in one. It is definitely a great experience if you are fortunate to become a member of any of the Divine Nine Greek organizations. So definitely, if you're interested, definitely explore it. I loved it. I had a lot of great times. I got to give back to my community through my organization. And to this day, I mean, the list of members that constantly achieve and have done wonderful things, that list is long. And I'm definitely a proud member.
Yeah, now you got to represent. You got to give us the name of the institution. What's the institution name?
Well, Kappa Alpha Psi,
or the school, the college, the school.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee State University.
Oh, nice.
It's right. But it's the white school. Don't get it twisted with Tennessee State University. We're close to each other, but two different schools.
Yeah, because I was going to ask if this is like an HBCU or PWI.
Yeah,
but yeah,
PWI. But we have a very, very large congregation of Black students there on our campus, that sometimes it often feels like an HBCU, but not to take away from the real HBCUs, because that's something that unfortunately I missed out on. But if I had the chance, I would have loved to attend HBCU. I definitely stand behind them 100%.
Absolutely. All right. So let's fast forward. Being that we're not gonna call you a military brat. I think that's belittling. Calling someone a military brat.
Yeah,
I,
I mean it's a term that I think we all embrace.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, and from that environment, right, to being a proud member of Kappa Alpha Phi, and now acting. What actually drove you into the acting profession?
Oh man, I think I've always wanted to be an actor since as long as I can remember, and I remember just growing up with television with not to age myself, but I had like TGIF. Thank goodness it was Friday. We
Oh
had to line up,
yes,
yeah, with
yes,
the Family Matters and all them,
yeah,
Step by Step. I would grow up watching, all the great kung fu movies and the spy movies, James Bond. I would think I was a spy after watching it, but
yeah.
and I used to want to be all these things in life. I used to want to have so many different lives in one lifetime. I just wanted to experience all these different occupations and potential careers. But then I realized that I actually wanted to be the person who was inspiring me to do this, because I wanted to hopefully one day inspire other people to live different lives that they may have not been aware of or may have not thought they could do, and just change. I want to be able to affect people in that way, just create that magic.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of us, including myself, how I got into radio is watching a lot of cable television. Like in my mind as a kid, cable television was a requirement in the household. Notice I said in my mind now, when I was a young kid, and I got bit by the acting bug just by watching cable television. And like you said, TGIF, Family Matters, Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, that huge lineup. Yeah, and even like the Saturday morning shows from back in the day and stuff.
Man.
But
those Saturday mornings was it.
It was. It definitely was. But it's one thing, right? It's one thing to look at television as a kid and inspiring to be like those characters and like those actors, but to actually do it is another. So walk us through the process of of when you went from looking at television and aspiring to do it to now you're either taking acting classes or you're going to auditions and stuff. Walk us through that process.
Man, that's a deep rabbit hole, as you probably already know. There's no, at least before YouTube and Google was as prominent as it is now, there was no one source to figure out how to do things. And the way that they was presenting actors' lives to us was overnight successes. It was just like this star was born overnight, and you never really understood that even with acting, it takes those 10,000 hours for a lot of people. And I didn't know how to do it. I was just coming. I graduated from high school and college in Tennessee. I was just like, I want to be an actor. And one way or the other, I was going to be an actor. And I thought football was going to be my way to eventually acting. I pursued football professionally a little bit, didn't work out. I decided ultimately to walk away from it because my heart was just in acting. Even if I went, I was like, I'm gonna go for a few years, retire, and that will give me access to being an actor. But I was trying to do plays when I was in DC, and it just wasn't working. I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, wasn't sticking. I was just hopping in people's plays, and like people was making promises like this play's gonna take off someday. It never would. And not to down them for their efforts and what they were doing. It's just I was, in that desperate phase when you first starting out, you just like, I just want to make it. I just want to make it. And I was like, I just need to be in the Mecca. So I needed to be in New York or LA. I got to New York, still trying out for different plays. I found plays on like Craigslist. I found plays online. I was just like, I'm on audition. I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna trust the universe, trust God. Somehow, some way, this is gonna work out. And I was going to audition for this one play, and as I was going to the audition, this class was letting out, ended up being an acting class, and all the students were just laughing and smiling. They just looked like they had the time of their life. And I was like, what did you guys just come from? I want this energy. I didn't even know it was an acting class. I just want to know what would happen in that room because something about their energy was addictive to me. And I wanted a piece of it. They told me it was an acting class for this renowned teacher and coach, Anthony Apeson, who I owe everything to. I would not be here if it wasn't for him. Phenomenal teacher. He really gave me a great foundation. And once you start getting yourself around your peers, you start building your tribe, and everybody has some type of wisdom or resource. They say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. So then I started getting my clips and my reels together. I started getting my resume building up, my marketing materials, the business side of acting that they don't usually teach you even in acting school. And started applying that. And then still, it was a matter of just making sure I was working something. It might not have been the most glorious things, but I was working. And I joined this play in this Fringe festival. And it so happened that a big casting director's nephew was in that play with me. I didn't have any idea. I did the play. She saw me after the play. She was like, oh, you did a great job. She's like, do you have an agent? I was like, nah, I don't have I'm just out here.
Right. Like, what is the agent? What is nature?
Yeah. I was like, I'm just out here. And I didn't even know who she was. But she was like, let's change that. Here's my number. Give me a call tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll email you. And still didn't know who she was. She ended up being like this big time commercial agent called Beth Melsky. And she hooked me up with an agent, commercial agent. And then that got me into national commercials and got my face out there. And then I just kept pushing. Then I got more recognition and eventually got a manager, Melissa Young Management, who took me under her wing, took that chance on me. And the rest is history, man.
Yeah. Just
little by little, putting that time in, putting that work in, putting those 10,000 hours in, and persevering, man. Perseverance is everything in this industry.
It is. Staying consistent. It's easy to be in the business, right? You may find yourself doing one or two commercials, one or two projects and stuff, and you may be like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I fell out of love from acting. I want to do other things and stuff like that. But if you have the passion and the hunger to do it, you're going to find the consistency and the perseverance, like you said, to keep going and going to where you are at now.
Yes. I hear I was always told the people who make it are the ones who stick around. And there's definitely nothing wrong with someone who realizes one day that maybe this is not their passion. Just like I did with football. I was like, this is not my passion. This is not my walk. This is not my journey. If you truly feel that, then definitely find something else to do. And I tell everybody, this is not an easy industry to be in. And if you can find something else to do, then please go do it, because this is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
But if this is truly your passion, truly your heart, if you truly have to do this until the day you die, stick in there and just continue to stick in there, persevere, and just stay at it. And like you said, stay consistent. And I promise you something will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Marcus Brandon, actor, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey Starkels, who is in Africa. And we are now joined by DJ Roland, who is with us this morning. What's going on, DJ Roland? He's getting his life together. There we go.
What's up, man? What's up, fellas?
What's up, my man? Pleasure.
Not much, man. I'm tired of these daggone computers ask for updates, and I do the updates. And I did the update yesterday. Now it's going to take forever to come on. I'm like,
man,
it's my phone.
Yeah, it's hard to stay up with stay up with the updates, because the updates happen. Technology is just moving too fast, man.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I just used this computer yesterday, and I want to act funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, what would we do without technology?
I mean, I love it.
I think we will be much more smarter without technology.
Maybe so. Maybe it's possible. I definitely use Google a lot, but if I didn't have it, I'd probably depend on myself a lot more. But I'm a little scared of it too, especially with all this AI, which I'm amazed by it. I love it, but I'm not going to lie. I'm a little afraid of what it may mean.
You see what's going on with China.
Yeah, you see what's going on with those balloons.
Yeah, exactly.
Those balloons in the sky. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm seeing 3, 4, 5 different white balloons in the sky. I'm getting scared now.
Yeah.
I used to get excited. I used to get excited as a kid when I see balloons in the sky, but now I don't. No, no. Like Marcus, I am literally paranoid now every time I see a balloon in the sky.
Man, you never know what these people
so no more balloons for celebrations and birthdays.
Balloons are not allowed.
I was like, yeah, if I see one more balloon in the sky, I'm like, you better get in the house. Get in the house right now.
Right.
I was gonna say happy birthday, Sean.
Right. Yeah, we still celebrating my birthday, by the way. Aquarius.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, my man.
Thank you. It's a celebration.
Yeah,
actor Marcus Brandon, ladies and gentlemen, on the Mayor of Kingstown, which you can see right now on Paramount Plus. Let's get into it because, like I said, I keep reiterating, I am totally hooked to Mayors of Kingstown, and also shout outs to Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus been giving us a lot of great shows, a lot of great content these days. So you play a deadly leader of the organization, the Bloods.
Yeah.
The Bloods. Ooh wee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We got to talk about it. How did you land that gig? And this is another experience for you because, you know, as an actor, as yourself, part of your job is studying, doing the research on your character or the organization that you're going to be representing. So talk to us about that experience that drew you into the character of a deadly leader. I mean, not just a member, a leader of the Bloods, man. Let's talk about that.
That's heavy, man. It's heavy. That's you know, just even to be real, when I was offered the role, you know, all the things went through my mind. Like, do I want to play a quote unquote thug? Do I want to play a gang member as a black male? Do I want to go this route? But as you say, I watched Mayor of Kingstown, like an episode before my audition to get the tone of the show, to see how the rhythm is. Yeah. And first episode, like you, season 1, I was hooked. I was like, oh man, this is how they doing it? Okay, this is a good show. And as more I started to watch the show, I realized that it wasn't just simple black and white. It wasn't just about these quote unquote criminals doing bad things and law enforcement deals. They really was digging into the racism and the miscare and the unfair treatment that takes place in prisons and when these members are incarcerated. And I really appreciate that about the show. And I was like, oh, this is more. This is about more. This character is layered. And Diedrich is, even though he's deadly, he's intimidating, and he has to be that way. He's the leader of the Bloods. He can't, you know, even if you're a line or a prideful or a general in the military, you cannot look weak to your opponents or even your fellow members because everyone's looking towards you. You have to present yourself a certain way, and that's how Diedrich, but he's a true product of his environment. But he's also wants better for his fellow members and his community. He wants to legitimize his businesses. He wants to go the right path, but he still is a product of his environment. If you watch the show, he gets mixed up in a deal that leads him down a path that makes things difficult for him along with other cast members. And, you know, what can you say? It's unfortunate part of his life. But I grew up in, like I said, I grew up in so many different environments. I grew up in the hood at times. And I know members of this organization and other gangs. And I was able to kind of pull from that experience, man, being around it and just understanding that, you know, everyone has their reasons for what they do. And everyone may not agree with them. Everyone may not believe in them, but they still have their reasons. And for them, those reasons are valid. And for them, those reasons a lot of times are justified. And that's no different for Diedrich. He has his reasons for being the leader of the Bloods. He has his reasons for making the moves he's making. And to really, really see this character, you're going to have to watch to dig in.
Yeah. Me and Roland, we know the history of the Bloods. And it's a very intriguing history to learn about an organization that started out doing this, but transitioned into something else.
Yeah.
And to be a part, to play the role of a character of an organization that is not fictional at all, it is the real deal. It gravitates you even more to the character, to the person playing it, because, you know, I'm a person who believes in the cause and effect of life. Like the root is, here's what happened in the past to why this person is the way that he or she is, and why they are a part of this family, of this organization. Were there some things that you portrayed as the character? Were there some things that resonated with you that you could relate to playing this character? You know, like what were some things that resonated to you?
Yeah, for me personally, it definitely goes back to the justification of his reasons, what his inner thoughts are of, you know, I'm in this situation and I'm just doing what I need to do to survive. I'm doing what I have to do because there's a line of people who are depending on me. And I'm not saying I necessarily go through this world with ill intentions, but I do have the mentality of, I'm gonna go out here every day. I have kids. I'm gonna go out here every day and make sure that all my moves and intentions for that day is to empower my kids and to provide a better life for them. And a lot of my decisions come with that behind it. And I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure that they are better off than I was when I was a kid, and better off than my parents were when they were kids. And I believe that's the same way that Dietrich moves through the world.
I do have a question. How long, I know you're talking about this particular character. Does it take you a long time to really kind of master the character that you're portraying?
I think that's a great question, my man. Master would be a hard thing to say, because I believe these characters aren't perfect. And I get what you're saying as far as me and golf immersing myself into this character. But by immersing myself into this character, I definitely get the foundation. Doesn't take too long because it's already in me. Everything, you know, you have this vast imagination, and once you have these skill sets of training to be an actor, you know how to break down the character development, how to build this character from ground up. But then a lot of it for me is just trusting in myself and trusting in my thoughts of that character as I move through the script, of how that he's going to react the way he's react. When he hears things that people are saying, he's going to react the way Dietrich is going to react, because he's a person and he has different qualities and he reacts different ways to different things. And he's not perfect, and there's going to be flaws within him. So pretty much just letting him and myself have the freedom to be vulnerable, to listen, and to react naturally. And I just let it go and just trusting myself.
Good. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you do, you know, before you get out of the trailer and you step on the set? What are some of the things that you do to prepare yourself before the director says playback, action?
Yeah. Being in wardrobe is a big thing for me. Being in the shoes of the role is a big thing for me, because these are not my normal clothes that I would wear. And once I get into that clothing, I kind of just transform, and then I start thinking like the character. And even off camera, I'm just thinking like the character and reacting. Everything's through the eyes of that character, Dietrich. And the script breakdown and all that's already been done before I'm stepping out on set. So all that's done, and I'm trusting that I'm just pretty much being in my own head, thinking and just relaxing and freeing up my instrument, my body, to receive. You know, I want all stress that's not related to the character to be gone, and I let it go, and so that I have no tension that's going to block me from being truthful as that character. Because if I have stress, if I'm worried about, I don't know, bills or some other issues with friends or family members or partners, if that's on my brain or in my body, that stress is going to block me from being the best actor I can be to portray that character at the time. So I try to just release all that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can be a distraction too as an actor. You wanna bring your A game.
Oh, for sure.
Especially give it all you got.
Especially in Hollywood, man. You don't want to. You don't get too many chances. You gotta come right.
Right.
We're on season 2 of Mayor of Kingston. DJ Roland, do you watch the show or do you need to catch up to speed?
I need to catch up with the speed because Tanya and I are trying to get Tanya's my wife. I'm just letting you know. Trying to watch more shows together because of our timing and everything. Because definitely I heard about it and I heard great things about it, and I definitely want to catch up with that on a regular basis and whatnot. So it's just that with my style of life, and Sean knows this, it's like, okay, all right.
You gotta get it when you can get it, for sure. But it's a great show to binge watch. And I'm in season 2. I come in on episode 2 of season 2, but I tell people it's worth going back to season 1 and starting from episode 1 because the show is just really good. And I promise you, after watching the first episode of season 1, you're going to be hooked, and you're going to be like,
I like that.
Yeah, executive produced by the great Antoine Fuqua, of course, with a lineup of A-list actors: Hugh Dillon, Michael Beach, Diane West, and of course Jeremy Renner. I gotta ask you, because our thoughts and prayers still go out to Jeremy, and his family and stuff like that. It's great news that he is still in recovery mode. What was your reaction when you got the news about Jeremy's injuries?
I was fearful for him. I've heard about it. I heard that he almost lost his life on the scene, and fortunately there was a friend close by, our neighbor, that was a doctor that helped save his life. But who would have known that person wasn't there? And just knowing the trauma he went through, my thoughts were about him as a human being and wanting the best for him, because I can't imagine what he's going through. I've been through a few near-death experiences at a younger age, and I know when those things happen, none of this Hollywood stuff matters. None of these achievements or money, none of this matters at the end of the day. And I'm sure it's the same for him, and I'm glad that he's had the time to be around the loved ones, because those relationships is really what is this in this world, is things that we should prioritize. And he's taking that time. He's taking his time to recover. He's recovering a lot better than they expected. He's becoming mobile, and I'm happy for him. But as far as going through my mind, it was really just, praying for his life and his recovery and his loved ones.
Yeah. I could not see anybody playing the main role of the mayor other than Jeremy Renner. He does an exceptional and amazing job. I mean, he was already a great actor before the series came to light, but Jeremy plays such a great role, and he's known for a lot of dramatic roles, right? He's played such a great role as being a mayor for the show. And I just could not see anybody replacing him if something were to happen to Jeremy, and I'm glad that Jeremy's in recovery mode, because we want to see season 3. We want to see season 3, season 4, season 5 of Mayor of Kingston. I cannot see Mayor of Kingston only doing 2 seasons and that's it. I cannot see that.
It's definitely going to be more. There's if you see the show, there's a lot of characters on the show and a lot of avenues that they can take the show in, direction they can take it in. But definitely Jeremy is killing it as the mayor. Everyone loves him. in that role. If you watch the show, then you know that it's kind of those shows where anybody can die any episode. So that's always has you kind of on the edge of your seat because you just never. It doesn't matter who you are on the show. Anybody can get it.
Now you saying now because you said all of that. Tell our listeners, especially DJ Roland, because he needs to catch up to speed. Tell the listeners, the viewers, what the show is actually about.
Oh, so the show is about this family, McCluskey family, who Jeremy's character, Mike McCluskey, is and he was the middle brother. And what they do and what he does essentially is he's a power broker, or some may consider a peace broker between the justice system, law enforcement, and the prisons and criminals within the inmates of the prisons. So that he brokers deals to keep the peace. Sometimes he does things that favor the gangs and the inmates, and sometimes he does things that favor the law. He just makes sure that both sides are happy. But as you can imagine, when you're dealing with politics in this way between these groups, a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can go wrong. And that's essentially what happens in this show is things go wrong. And then there's a domino effect if one thing goes wrong. And then you owe people things. And there's a lot of people who are in your pockets as the mayor, and he's trying to please everybody. And you can only imagine the chaos that comes from that. For sure.
It's one of those shows where you're going to see a lot of corruption, right? You're going to see a lot of corruption, a lot of street drama, street crimes and stuff. You know, there was one scene, and I don't want to give it away, but there was one scene in the episode, I believe it was either on season 1 or season 2. It was one of those seasons, right? And there was a pit bull.
Oh.
Yeah, the pit bull scene, right? It was in the car. It was the car. Yeah. The guy in the car got shot up, and they sent this pit bull to go inside the car to finish the job. I'm like, oh my goodness!
I got a question on this. With this type of environment of the project, it sounds like there's no women involved in this.
There is. There's quite a bit a handful of women who are involved. Mike McCluskey has a secretary who's a prominent part of the show. There's also sex workers who are very much part of negotiations in the story itself. One of them particularly, I think Iris, who played by Emma, she's a big part of the show because I don't want to give spoilers, but she wants to get out of the life that she's in. But the person who is her boss is an inmate and old quote unquote friend of Mike McCluskey, of Jeremy's character. Right. And things get a little crazy with that. And then you got Diane West, who, you know, phenomenal actress, big time, who plays his mom. And she gets more involved in the second season. She's in the first season as well. And then you have the prosecutors in the DA office. Like there's definitely women who prominent, but there's so many characters in the show. That's the thing. There's a lot of character development, a lot of characters, that there's so many different stories and layers.
Yeah, because sex is usually kind of the calmer in this. And I was like, the way things are sounding, I'm like, there's no sex involved.
No, they definitely have that involved, but it comes with a price.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, Paramount Plus been rolling out a lot of great shows, you know, like this one. Of course, you have The Game and you got Yellowstone. Yes. You know, big shouts to Paramount Plus for the great content they've been giving us. So definitely, if you haven't seen it already, make sure y'all check it out. Mayor of Kingstown, available on Paramount Plus. Now, what other projects are you currently working on outside of Mayor of Kingstown?
Oh yeah, I just another show of mine. I was on episode 3 of Poker Face, just aired 2 or 3 weeks ago with Natasha Lyonne. She's from American Pie and Orange Is the New Black and Russian Dolls. She's the lead character, and every show is essentially an anthology. So like most of the cast is new every episode because she runs from town to town, and she has like a natural lie detector inside of her that helps her know when people are lying. She helps people solve the mystery case of the week or murder case of the week, as you would say. It's by the same writers as Knives Out, the movies, and it's just very entertaining. Definitely worth watching. I was in episode 3 with Lil Rel, and it was such a great experience. I wouldn't place it for anything. I got some other projects coming out, but under NDA, I can't speak on too much now. But you will be seeing me again on your screen, more of me on your screen, and I have an indie film that's going to be shooting in the Philippines soon. That I'm excited for. That's going to be a great adventure. I've never been, and speaking of traveling and experiencing new cultures, this is a great opportunity to not only get that while acting, but all in one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, some fun facts about you when you're not shooting, when you're not on set. What are some fun things that you like to do on your time off?
I love business development. To be honest, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a cybersecurity business and shared co-working business and a few other things, real estate. So I'm always trying to find the next business to help grow my portfolio. But outside of that, when I'm more relaxing, I've been riding my motorcycle a lot, enjoying that. We've been having a unusual warm winter in New York City. So I've been able to ride my motorcycle here and there. I've been enjoying it, not complaining. Some people may say some things, if something's not right, if it's too warm at this time of the year, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I love snowboarding and being with my kids, man. And then, food. I love eating food, man. Eating food, new restaurants, eating food, cuisine. I love it.
I read somewhere that your favorite foods or some of the foods that you love to eat are tacos.
Oh man, they should write a book about me and tacos. I love tacos. I might be like the Bubba Gump of tacos, man. Like tacos is really, I don't know. They got a special place in my heart. They just hit the spot every time.
Do you make tacos yourself? Because now that you can make your own taco.
Yeah, I do. I used to celebrate Taco Tuesdays in my house every Tuesday for the longest. I don't have as much time anymore, but that used to be my day. And I used to really be big into fish tacos. I don't eat meat as much these days, but fish tacos were always like the sweet spot.
Okay. I do have a question. Is there a particular actor and or actress that you would like to work with in the near future? Like,
man, that's a tough question, man. There's so many. There's so many people that I grew up watching that I want to still work with. Like I want to work with Angela Bassett and Viola Davis and Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis and Denzel and Will Smith. I would love to be in a movie with Denzel and Will Smith together. That would be great.
That would be good.
I heard they're working on some type of project. Will Smith and Denzel. I heard something. I didn't read the whole snip of it, but they had like a little thing. Like they might be working together real soon.
Oh man, I gotta get on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on it, man. I'm gonna have to get it. I gotta get there before Michael B. Jordan get there. I gotta be in the too. But he could be in the movie too. We could all be in the film together. But
actually, I was gonna say this real quick. Sorry, Sean. That Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith are working on I Am Legend sequel. I saw that. So hopefully you can be part of that, part of one of the characters.
Yeah. That would be great too, man. I'm open to receive, any opportunities that are right for me. Definitely. They're coming and I'm excited for the future of my career. I'm definitely ready.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I love the fact that you got a degree. This is going back to the fun facts of Marcus Brandon. You got a degree in computer engineering.
Yeah.
Right? What's so fascinating? I meet so many people in the industry that got a degree in something, whether it's marketing or criminal justice or computer engineering like you, but they are all actors. They're all actors and actresses. So
I actually I majored in acting when I first went to college, and then I said, for myself, I was like, coming from the humble beginnings, I was like, I think I want something a little bit more financial secure, and something that
Yeah.
I knew the future would grow in the future and continue to grow with technology, and I knew computers would be around. So if anything happened, I would always be able to find a job with computers in some way.
So
Um, and so I switched it to computer engineering.
Mm.
And I think maybe not to knock my school and their actors program, but maybe if I went to Yale or NYU, I might have stuck with the actor degree. But I went to Middle Tennessee State University, so I was like, you know what? I think I probably could find other ways to become an actor and depend on that. But I was like, I'm gonna go with computer engineering. They had a great engineering department,
Yeah.
one of the top programs. So I went with that route. Again, not to knock their acting program, but I think it was a better decision for myself. And I just love computers.
Yep. Yep. Engineering, that's a part of the STEM. I don't know what you call it, but the STEM thing, science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are the four powerful sources that will lead you to lucrative jobs. Now, if we can just only add the extra E in there, entertainment. I mean, add the extra E in there between engineering and mathematics, science, technology, engineering, entertainment, and math. I think there would be more and more people in entertainment.
Definitely. I think more and more people are coming to it. It's definitely more saturated these days than before. There's a lot more opportunities with different platforms, all these streaming platforms and YouTube. And that's the one thing that I'm kind of scared of with AI. I think the AI is going to give even more opportunities for someone in the middle of nowhere to create a cinematic project perfect with AI. They could just have their phone, a couple of actors, and they could create a perfect cinematic movie.
Yeah.
AI just goes in and fix it.
But I'm an old school type of person though. I still love to go to the movie theater. I still love to go to the movie theater. I still love to go to the drive-in movies. I still love to go to the $1 movie theaters. I don't think they have any of those anymore.
No, they don't.
It's rare. It's very rare to find something.
But true story though, here in Georgia, right? I went to a $1 movie theater, and this was back in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that wasn't even that long ago. It was one in, I want to say it was Fayetteville, Georgia.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
it's unheard of. I thought they was obsolete. I thought they was no more.
I mean, I'm just saying they got one Blockbuster video store here in America. There got to be at least one movie dollar theater somewhere here in the United States of America.
I know in Jersey we got a few drive-in. It's not the dollar one, but there's a drive-in theater. I still like that nostalgia of that.
Yeah,
sure.
I love it, man. So before we let you go, because I know you got to go, Marcus. Of course, we are celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And we're going to do something on each of our episodes between now and the end of the year to commemorate 50 years of hip hop. And, this show was built off of hip hop. That's why it's called The Beat Break, right? The Beat Break Morning Show. So you got to tell us, what was the first hip hop album? We're going to ask you 3 questions. What was the first hip hop album you purchased? That's question number 1.
Man. The first one, I think the first one was ATLiens.
Whoa.
Yeah. Outkast?
Wow.
Yeah, Outkast, ATLiens. Wow. I think that was the very first one. I was like, oh, I gotta get this one. Being in the South, they were the ones, and that album was just, I mean, it's up there. It's in the classic.
You were in school when you got it, didn't you?
Was I what?
You were in school when you got it, didn't
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
Right. Okay. That's what's up.
So that was your first album. All right. Second question. what is in your playlist right now, all things considered, rap or hip hop? What is in Marcus Brandon's playlist?
I'm gonna say once you shuffle around the kids, the kids animated movie theme songs, I'm gonna say is I love FKJ, Masego. FKJ stands for, I think, French Kiwi Juice, dope multi-instrumentalist with a lot of jazz undertones. Lil Baby is in there. Keep some future Tim's, Wizkid is in there. Dirk, I keep him rotating. But yeah, and Future.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The newest joints. The newest.
Artists,
yeah.
I mean, I gotta keep my J. Cole on rotation and my Kendrick on rotation. And I was just listening to some Tupac and Bone Thug earlier today. Bone Thug.
Yeah, you got to throw in some old school in there, so you got to balance. Okay. All right. One more question. Who would win in a rap battle? The Baby or Lil Baby?
I'm gonna give it to Lil Baby just because, I mean, they both got unique styles, but I think Lil Baby's a little bit more maybe innovative, a little bit more quick on the toes, I think. But they're both very entertaining. But I don't know, Lil Baby, I would give it to him.
Wow.
What about you? You saying the opposite? Who you claiming?
I'm a DJ, and to me, the all I can say is somebody named Baby will win. That's all I can
say. we gotta actually specify. Are we talking about Baby from Cash Money? Like, which Baby we talking about?
We're talking about Little Baby and the Baby. That's
okay. But so Baby, aka Birdman, is not included in this conversation.
He ain't talking about that. He ain't talking about that, man. He's talking about Little Baby and Dub Baby. And I say, Baby, somebody named Baby will win. That's all I can say.
Somebody with Baby. Okay. I can't figure it out.
Me either, all right.
Y'all gonna leave me out here on the island then.
Well, Marcus Brandon, man, I appreciate you for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show. Once again, he is on Mayor of Kingstown, available on Paramount Plus. So you all make sure you check out his character Diedrich as the intimidating, deadly leader of the Bloods, man. So this show and even his character and his scenes, it definitely keep you in suspense. So make sure y'all check it out. Season 2 available as well as season 1 on Paramount Plus, man. Any last remarks, any shout outs you want to give before you sign off?
Definitely hit me up. If even actors who are coming up, hit me up if you want some advice. Marcus Lorenzo Brandon on IG. And just wishing everybody the best, man. Thanks again for having me, man. Grateful.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. You're welcome anytime to the Beat Break Morning Show atmosphere, brother. We really appreciate it. Much success to you and much more in your acting career, man.
Definitely.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Marcus Brandon, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor of Kingstown. Watch it.
I promise.
Season 2.
Catch up.
All right.
Catch up. Thank you so much. All right. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. We are at the top of the hour, DJ Rollum. So we're going to have more of the Beat Break Morning Show with myself, yours truly, Sean Garvey, and DJ Rollum and Star Kels, who is here in the spirit. So stay tuned for this station ID. And we got more on the way next right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Y'all keep it locked.
All right,
Welcome back to the Beat Break Morning Show. This is the third hour of the Beat Break Morning Show. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum. We got the caffeine and energy drink mix coming up with DJ Rollum, a very special tribute to one of the best hip-hop groups of all time, De La Soul. We got that coming up in just a few moments. Shout outs to actor, the one and only Marcus Brandon from Mayor of Kingstown for coming on. I had to make sure that I didn't catch myself continuously saying Kingston is Kingstown. So I don't want anybody to go online and search for Mayor of Kingston and be like, wait a minute. I thought Sean Garvey said this was a show. This ain't a show. This is something else. No, Mayor of Kingstown. That's where you can check out Marcus Brandon on Mayor of Kingstown, Paramount Plus. DJ Rollum, back on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Yes.
Star Kells in Africa. She might as well just live there.
She's back there again? I didn't know that.
She's back there. Yep, for business purposes.
Was she trying to be a dual resident?
I don't know. But then again, maybe she likes it better there than here in America. That's
she want to be like Stevie Wonder and just actually move there.
Could be.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. You know, we've had so many public figures that went to Africa, possibly wanted to move there, but they went to Africa anyway. Chappelle, you know, I mean, of course, Akon is from there.
Right.
So many people. You know, if Tupac was still alive, he would definitely not only go to Africa, but he probably would move there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
If Tupac was still alive. You know, I had this thing in my head earlier today where, you know, because I keep seeing all these documentaries that's getting ready to come out or already have came out about Tupac Shakur's life and what people did not know about Tupac Shakur. And I was just like, you know, if Pac was still alive and he went to Africa, if he chose to come back to America from Africa, he would never, ever be the same. No. He would never, ever be the same. He would be like, man, forget this thug life, forget this, forget rap music, forget all this. No, he there's no telling what else he could have accomplished if he came back from Africa.
A great actor. That's what
he would be. What?
A great actor.
A better actor.
Yeah.
He was a great actor, but a better actor. But I think he would have definitely be something else beyond acting and rapping. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe running for a president of the United States. Don't laugh.
I don't know.
Don't laugh.
I mean, I'm not
like
laughing.
I said running for president. I didn't say becoming one.
I ain't say he I'm looking at his character. I would think he would not try to do anything in politics per se because of how he was. We're looking at his character, and definitely running for a high office like that, such as president, wouldn't be in his limelight. He will probably do something more that will be like he would have had a big affiliation with BLM. So he would have definitely been part of that like crazy, and probably would have started it a whole lot earlier. Probably would have started that back in the 90s, knowing him. That's what I think.
Yeah. But you know, we're just only going by speculation, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But he did leave a legacy while on Earth. He did leave a legacy. He left a mark.
Oh, huge mark.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just got, when I personally didn't like him, I mean, Only reason why I didn't like him because when he first started as a rapper, when Brenda had a baby, I'm like, okay, all right, no thug stuff, good. And then he came out with that thug stuff. I'm like, oh God, here we go again, and whatnot. And I mean, I'm not knocking his craft. It's just that I got at me personally, I got tired of hearing thuggish stuff. I wanted to hear more.
You wanted the conscious side. You wanted the conscious side of pop.
Yeah, I'm like, you started off like that, keep it like that. You know, you weren't.
No, but
it is what it is. I understand why he did it, but I just like, dog, why?
But I mean, if he didn't give us the thug stuff, if he didn't give us the thug stuff or the other side of pop, we wouldn't have heard songs like, you know, I Get Around, Hit 'Em Up. I mean, we can go the list. Right, Tell me how you want it. Yeah. Tell me how you want it. So many songs. You know, a catalog. Yeah, All Eyes on. Come with me. Yeah. Hail Mary.
I mean, he was the actual first artist to go platinum with 2 CDs on an album. The first artist to actually do that. He broke a lot of records before stuff, you know, how people got rolling, you know, into that. So he did a lot. He started off a lot, and I commend him on that.
Yeah.
Whatnot. But yeah, I don't think he would have gone to politics like that as a president. He would have done some other stuff to make it more noticeable about who we are as a people. I think he would have done that because he believe me, I don't think he would have really worried about the other ones, not as much as he worries about the color of his skin. That's the thing that I feel, in my personal opinion.
I think, you know, I think just by the nature of him and the songs that he has put out and stuff, it would have motivated him to at least try it, at least run. Not saying he would win.
I know that.
You know, but at least run for president.
He would definitely been an independent. He would definitely not been a Republican. I know that for sure.
So, you know, you wouldn't be a Democrat either?
No, he would have been no Democrat. No. He would have been a pure independent. He'd probably be the most popular independent in history if he had done it like that. That's my opinion on that. He would definitely not care none of those parties. He does not care about either one of those parties here or there. So I'm just saying.
He would have created his own party called the Thug Life Party.
Probably.
The Thug Party. The Thug Party, yeah.
The Thug Party, yeah. And he would have had a lot of folks following it too and whatnot. But guess what? By you saying it like that, they would have said that would be like a cult party. That would probably would have called it a cult party, because if you get a bunch of us thug people or negative, I wouldn't say negative, more hardcore, I would say, into a party, they would have called it a cult. That's what they probably would have done.
Well, man, we will never know.
We will never know, yeah. But somebody may think about it. I mean, they listen to our show, so somebody like, you know, do the old.
You come up with an idea, yeah. You know, they better cut us a check.
Yeah. Don't forget.
They're gonna take our idea and put it into fruition. You better cut us a check.
There you go. There you go,
man. Yeah. What a great way to talk about this as we continue to celebrate 50 years of hip hop. Of course, if you listen to my show, The Mental Space, on WAOK 1380 AM in Atlanta, I had Sparky D call in to give her 2 cents on what she thought about the recent hip hop tribute performance at the 2023 Grammys. I openly said on the Mental Space that I had to give it a C-.
Really?
Yep. I gave it a C-. I gave it a C-, and Sparky D gave it a C.
Okay.
At least she was more nice to do that than me. She gave it a C. I gave it a C minus. A C minus is close to a D.
Right, exactly. And the reason why I sort of agree with you, because I'm sorry I have to say this, but the actual station that actually aired it did a horrible part by placing it on commercials during a very important part of the show. And I really was ticked off about that. And you had to go on other platforms just to see it. So I really blame the Atlanta station, if I can say it.
You just say it. Go ahead, say it. Say the call letters.
CBS 46, you get a huge F for that, because you did not allow a lot of the performers be seen in the airways of Atlanta. You know, because everybody from on social media was talking about what was going on, and we people in Atlanta didn't see that. So I give it an F. I couldn't give it a C minus because of what I saw. I'm like, what? And the last person I remember seeing was Queen, but Queen Latifah, and I did see Ice-T. I did see, I can't remember his name, but I did see a member from De La Soul was on there.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a few moments.
Right, but it's just sad, man. I'm like, man, ugh. But before we get into that,
by the way, CBS 46, of course, is now known as WANF. People from Roland, like Roland is Atlanta, right? Roland is Atlanta. He's still Baltimore, but he's Atlanta as well. He knows it, like I mean, you know, I work in media. We still know it as CBS 46, but down here it's known as WANF now. I think that ever since WANF, ever since CBS 46, we branded itself and renamed it as WANF, things started to become a bit interesting.
Yeah, it has. I agree. It has. It has. Yeah. But I got some trivia. Not really a trivia, but I got a question for you. Okay. And Tony was asking me about that earlier this morning. She said that Ja Rule, she believed that Ja Rule was the first rapper that sung. Do you believe that? I say no.
No.
She believes that. And I said, no, Ja Rule wasn't, you know.
Maybe she meant to say Ja Rule is the first rapper to sing with a very white voice. But I mean, is it really a very white voice, or is it like that angry gutter street voice? Like, what would I be without you? What would I without you? Maybe she meant that. He's the first rapper to sing in that type of voice, that street gutter sound.
Okay, yeah, it didn't have any like, you know, tweaking it to make it sound good or anything. That was just pure raw in the studio.
Would I want to be without you?
I was saying,
but historically speaking,
I don't even call that.
No, he's not the first rapper. He's not technically he's not the first rapper to sing.
He's not technically, which I told her that. I said Ja Rule was not the first. I told her I was gonna bring it on into the show. So I'm like, so I will let her know.
What was her response?
She was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah.
No.
He is not the first one.
No, we got a laundry list.
We got a laundry list. And then she said Heavy D. And I said Heavy D didn't sing. He just had one of his first soft songs when LL Cool J came out with his
songs. His songs were more for the women, though. He was the overweight lover.
Right.
He was considered the overweight lover. The overweight lovers in the house. He just made a lot of songs for women.
Right. So, so I said, I had to like really think about it, and I ain't had a chance to really figure stuff out yet because she threw that into me, and I'm like, I gotta really check that out and whatnot. But I know it wasn't Ja Rule. I know it wasn't.
No. Yeah, Ja Rule. Out of all the artists, Ja Rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay. I mean, just by herself, Tanya. Shout out to Tanya, by the way. Tanya Townsend. Now, just by her mentioning Ja Rule is keeping him relevant to a certain extent.
Yeah, he had some hits. I mean, he had some hits. I'm not shooting him down or anything.
He got a pretty good catalog.
Yeah, I mean, Jay-Z helped bring him out on his song, Can I Get a What? So that's how Ja Rule really came out from that hit song.
Yep. Jay-Z put him on. DMX allowed him to sound like him. And 50 Cent came in and crushed his career. So there you go. Oh no! I'm sorry. No sound applause. No applause. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. My bad. But I mean, it just makes sense. His first album was Beanie Ben and Beachy.
Oh man!
He came. He saw. He conquered. Right. JC came. DMX saw, and 50 Cent conquered. Beanie Ben and Beachy.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit. All
right.
We're still on Tanya, though. We're still talking about Tanya.
Okay.
She got confused with PM Dawn and De La Soul for me.
What?
And I was like, what? Hold up.
Wait. She got P. Wait, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly, and for our listeners out there, she got PM. Was it PM Dawn? PM Dawn. Okay, PM Dawn confused with De La Soul. Wow.
Because she thinks they sound alike, and I'm like,
no. Hell to the no.
Yeah. So like, she was thinking because of a couple songs. I can't think of those songs she said because that threw me off. I'm like, wait.
No.
PM Dawn and De La Soul. PM Dawn came out several years later after De La Soul. So I'm thinking like in the late 90s and whatnot. De La Soul came out in 89, 90. So I'm like, that's why I said several years.
And that's two different energies. I mean, kind of, a little bit like on the conscious, hippie, peaceful type of vibe and what have you, but you can't even put them up against each other in a versus battle.
No. Unfortunately. I love her, but no, baby. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But speaking of in 50 years, man, the celebration of it, I think with the mix that I'm going to put out with the De La Soul thing, you're gonna be like surprised, like De La Soul and Tribe and Jungle Brothers have a lot of stuff that helped start a new wave of hip hop in the early 90s that a lot of folks just did not know.
That is, they are considered as native tongues.
Yes, very. Thank you for saying that.
Native tongues.
Wow, because I'm like, whoa, man, they just had so much influence, man, on music that just saying the lyrics in their songs and stuff it's forever known. It's forever known. It would never go away. It was always going to be reminded of saying it, of saying that phrase, Bonita, and things like that, like what Tribe did and whatnot. I'm like, see, you will be very impressed with the selections that I put out and whatnot, and even the old schooler people, like when I say old schooler, I'm talking about like a Shaka Khan, appreciate artists like them, man, and the Roots, like, thank you, that did their thing. I'm like, whew, man, it's that's my style of music. I really like any daggone way, period.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, got to interrupt this conversation real quick because I want to make sure that I plug my sponsor in, and our sponsor, I should say, and that is Scent Just For You. Scents with an S, actually. Just For You, scentsjustforyou.com is still available on the website. Make sure you all get your scents, get your oils, and other merch from Scents Just For You. We're going to have the owner and founder of Scents Just For You, Raphael Williams, on the morning show real soon to talk more about it. You can actually go on my IG and Facebook page at Sean Garvey ATL or at Beat Break Radio to watch the video of Scents Just For You. Make sure you get your scents. Now, you know, of course, Valentine's Day is over. We got to talk about that coming up. It's over, but it's still no excuse to not go get your oil fragrance for your better half or your significant other and make them smell good. Make sure they smell good, you know, in 2023. So make sure you go to scentsjustforyou.com and get 20% off of all purchases if you go to Scents Just For You, all right? And the first 50 people to go on there, or actually one of the first 50 people, I want to make sure I clarify that. One of the first 50 people to go on there will get a gift card by yours truly, Sean Garvey. So make sure you go to scentsjustforyou.com and get your oil fragrances and other merch. He doesn't just only sell oil fragrances, but he also sells paintings, pictures, posters of historical Black figures, and even calendars. Yeah, I don't know not one person who does not need a calendar in their household. You want to keep up with your dates, you want to keep up with your schedule, but you also want a calendar that reminds you of your ancestry, of Black history, and so much more. We are still in the month of February, and he got those calendars for you on deck. So go to scentsjustforyou.com. Go there right now to get your oil fragrance, other merchandise, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, 20% off of all purchases if you go there now. Make sure you tell Raphael and Scents Just For You, the Beat Break Morning Show sent you. All right, just had to throw that plug in there real quick. Back to DJ Rollum and yours truly, Sean Garvey's conversation on 50 years in hip hop.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Since you put a question out for a previous guest early in the show, I got 3 questions for you. Who is your top 3 hip hop people of 50 years of hip hop? Who are your top 3?
Oh, that's in the entire 50 years of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I can't go all the way back because keep in mind, I was born in 84. So I can't go all the way back, right? Mm-hmm. I can't even go between 84 and 90. I can't even do between 84 and 90.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, maybe I can. I can pick one between 84 and 90.
You can pick 3.
Yeah, I can pick. Yeah, I can only pick one from. You know, that'd be fair. I think that'd be fair for a question like this because I can just pick one from the 80s. I can pick one from the 90s and
there you go.
2000s. Right? Okay. So if I had to pick one from the 80s, it would definitely have to be. I'm gonna say Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Is in my top 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I get the explosions on that one? Let me see if I can get the explosion on that one right there.
Okay.
There we go. Big Daddy Kane in my top 3.
All right.
Okay. The second one. Let's pick somebody from the 90s. The 90s era. Ooh. Of course. You know I'm going to have to go with.
I already know.
You already know. DJ Rollum already know.
I already know.
I know what I'm going to go with. I'm going to have to go with. It's a hard decision. I'm going to have to go with the COMMO to the end. Common.
Yeah, there you go. I was wondering.
Yeah. There we go. Can I get an explosion on that one? Okay. No? Okay. My thing's not working. All right. But yeah, Common in my top 3 of best hip hop MCs of all time, if we're going from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, last but not least, let's do one from the 2000s. Man, this is a hard question. Hard question. So in the 2000s, whew, man, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to say Eminem.
Eminem. Oh man. Okay.
I'm gonna have to say.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say Eminem. Damn it, man. Damn it, man.
All right. All right.
Yeah. No. You know what? I'm gonna say I have to do a tie. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be between Eminem and Black Thought.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I'm gonna do a double from the 2000s, I might as well do a double in the 90s. Common and I'm gonna say Pharoah Monch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pharoah Monch is one of the most underrated hip hop MCs of all time.
Yes, he is.
He has ghost written for a lot of artists, which some people don't know. Yeah. Yeah. And if I had to go back in the 80s and do another double up, late 80s, Big Daddy Kane and Rakim. Yeah.
I think they didn't they do a versus?
No, the ones that didn't know, it was Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, it should have been Big Daddy Kane and Rakim.
Right. Because I thought that's what they were promoting was that.
No. Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One.
A versus of Chuck D and KRS-One. That should have been a versus.
Yeah, but then you gotta include Public Enemy and BDP.
Right, and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to bring them in, but I'm just talking about because
Chuck D, just Chuck D and KRS-One. There you go.
Yeah. That would have been like the most educational versus.
It'd be like a classroom though. It'd be like a classroom versus.
Yeah, big time.
Be on. I know it'll feel like I'm at a protest demonstration if it was Chuck D and KRS-One on versus. It would feel like a protest demonstration.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Because then they probably won't be rapping, or they probably wouldn't be rapping off of their songs throughout the entire night. They just be like, "Black people, we got to stick together. And Black people save hip hop." I'm like, wait a minute, just get to the freaking records. Chuck D and KRS-One, come on.
He actually follows me. Chuck D follows me on Twitter, man. I just checked my Twitter account the other day, and I saw Chuck D. I'm like, he's following me. Wow.
Chuck D is following anybody that's Black. Yeah. Chuck D is following anybody that's Black. I mean, hell, if you don't know you, but you're a Black person, like, okay, follow. That's
wow.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably only like 5 white people that he follow, and then everybody else is Black. Because if anything, he's following a member from the Beastie Boys. He's following
Eminem.
Probably following what's that Caucasian guy who's running Loud Records? What's his name? Steve Rifkin. Steve Rifkin? Yeah, Steve Rifkin.
I was thinking Eminem too. I think he's following him. Do you think?
Probably.
Mm.
Yeah. He damn sure ain't following Michael Rappaport.
No, Elon Musk.
I don't know.
Definitely not Elon Musk.
Elon, well, no. Elon Musk, he got some nationality.
Oh, okay.
He's not 100% black.
Oh, okay. But you still ain't following. Oh man. Okay.
All right, you've been listening to you may be a racist and you don't even know it. Blended in with the 50 years of hip hop conversation. Yes. So just to let you all know, in a couple of weeks, as we continue to commemorate 50 years of hip hop, we will bring Sparky D on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Ooh.
She told me to send her some dates, and she might bring some surprise guests with an S, guests on the morning show. She got an event coming up in the ATL in April, in which I've been cordially invited to. So more details are on the way, but yes, Sparky D will come on, and we do have a hip hop legend coming on the Beat Break Morning Show. We're in talks. I can't say who it is just yet, but he is a hip hop legend. I give you a hint. He made one of the most classical hip hop records of all time, but he did not perform at this year's hip hop 50th anniversary Grammys, which I feel he should have. So we're in talks of bringing him on the Beat Break Morning Show. His name was probably on the wall too, by the way. They had the wall, the backdrop of acknowledging all of the hip hop pioneers.
Right.
So I think they had his name on the wall.
Wow.
Because, everybody, like LL Cool J said before, during the Grammy Awards ceremony, he said, I know, we couldn't get everybody. That, this is just one show. The rest is to be continued. So between now and December, we're going to see more performances, more events, even more people that you did not get to see at the Grammys perform on stage. I think this should be at Madison Square Garden. I think there should be like a 3-hour concert event as a continuation from the hip hop 50th anniversary tribute at the Grammys. Why not do it at MSG in New York? What better place to do it but in the birthplace? New York.
Here's the thing. West Coast folks will have a problem with that.
Why is that?
I'm gonna say, why has it be in New York? Why can't it be in a neutral spot?
Because New York is the birthplace. And Snoop Dogg, shout out to Snoop Dogg and Dog Pound. Snoop Dogg came and crushed New York. He crushed the building. I'll never
forget the Source Awards. I know exactly where I was when all that went down. I was in my dorm room in Tuskegee, could not believe what I saw. I'll never forget that moment. Never.
I mean, we seen the video. New York. Him, Corrupt, Dash Dillinger came and just crushed the buildings down. New York. Like, come on, Snoop, come perform with the past, present, and future of hip hop artists to make up for that at MSG.
I know he wouldn't mind.
They would do that.
He wouldn't mind, but I just know some West Coast folks will have a problem with that.
I don't think no West Coast folks have it. I mean, we're far beyond. We far from that whole East Coast, West Coast shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. But that lasted so long.
Yeah.
That lasted so long. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to give you my 3. I'm going to give you my 3.
Okay, what are your 3? Your 3 best hip hop.
80s, 90s, and 2000. All right.
Okay.
I'll say the first one in the 80s, because actually I can't say the 70s, but I will just start off with the 80s. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I would say that who was a big influencer and whatnot. I would say Heavy D in the 80s.
Okay.
Because he's Heavy D. That kind of like said to me, being a heavy guy, can be a good thing and not a bad thing. And he helped change that by him being a big guy and doing what he does. And people love him. Girls love him. I'm like, okay, he's having to shoot. Girls should all love him too. You know?
Yeah. And this was before Notorious B.I.G. This was before Big Pun. This was before Rick Ross.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So he definitely is a big influencer. And you know, like how I knew your 90s, you know who my 90s are. So you already know.
But you said artists now. You didn't say groups. You said artists.
Well,
we're gonna have to do the groups. We're gonna have to do the groups on the next episode.
Oh, okay. All right. So artists. Let me go and change it then. Change it up because you know that's all I listened to was in the 90s, and you can tell by some of the mixes I've done over the years, you know who I really like. But I'm gonna say as an artist in the 90s. I would have to say because he was in my 80s mind, but I'm like he changed his style, which is a good thing. I would have to say LL Cool J. Because he came out.
It is something about with you and these rap hip hop artists that love talking to women. You went from Heavy D to LL Cool J.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the 2000s, and you know, and I said this before and whatnot, because of his style, because of how the music has changed, and he can change whatever is going on because he's on so many different levels and whatnot, and I will support him. Drake.
Whoa! I don't know if I want to give an explosion for that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Drake.
I mean, to be fair, we can do an explosion for that. To be fair. Let me not sound like a hater this morning. I'm not gonna be a hater. Okay, so why Drake? Because this is interesting. This is an interesting lineup of people that you picked. Heavy D, who did songs and spoke to the women. LL Cool J did songs and spoke to the women. And now Drake, who speaks to the women, sings to the women, cries in front of the women. I love you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just say my thoughts. Okay, so why Drake?
Why Drake?
I'm listening.
Because when Drake came out with Lil Wayne, I'm like, okay, he's talented. I'm thank you, Lil Wayne, for bringing him out. But then he went solo and he did some stuff. And I'm like, what in the world? He went from, I guess, whatever music they call it these days, to pop easily. He's on billboards, all levels. Like it's very hard to be on all levels of what Billboard looks for. And he is really my only top artist currently right now that can flow. Like you give him a chance to go with a Future and be phenomenal on that. And then you could put him with a Her and whatnot and be phenomenal on that. And don't even have to worry about just singing a hook. He will have an actual line singing and have a hook doing it too. So he's great. He's great. You know, I know he loves some Rihanna and Nicki Minaj and all that stuff. I know he was upset, especially when Rihanna got 2 babies by ASAP and whatnot. Like, damn, I can't even be the daddy.
You know Drake can get with any woman that looks like a Nicki Minaj or Rihanna, because there are plenty of women that look like
I know. But he wanted them personally. He rapped about this, especially about Nicki. Let's just say we just did it anyway. I mean, he put that in his lyrics. I mean, just to say it. And both of those ladies that he rapped along with and all that have moved on and got babies and families, and you're like, God dang. I know I can. I know I got some groupies out there that can do fulfill that particular need, but it ain't them. You know, so it's a trip. But Drake is hands down for me, man. I'm like, he can switch it up. I just like how he's so versatile with his talent. It's not just one style. It's like Future is all one style. Like he's using what I can't forget his name. T-Pain has started with, using
the auto-tune.
Yeah, using that. I mean, T-Pain can't really sing. I mean, he can.
Actually, he can sing. He can sing without auto-tune. Have you heard his performance on NPR Music?
No.
Yeah, go to NPR Music or go to YouTube, type in T-Pain NPR and listen to T-Pain without the auto-tune. And look at the comment section. Because in my ears and everyone else's ears, he sings way more better without auto-tune.
But they promote auto-tune with T-Pain. I mean, you may not do it as much.
I mean, the auto-tune sold. I mean, the auto-tune, did what it did.
Yeah, because he pushed that thing out and everybody wanted to be auto-tuned. They can sing and whatnot. Like, really? So, but yeah, I mean, that's what Drake can do.
Okay, so now that you said Drake, I gotta say, because now we passed 2000s, right? So I mentioned like my early 2000s of artists that I think to me is like the best of the 50 years of hip hop. So beyond 2000, because it is 2023. And when did Drake come out? Drake came out in what, 2011, 2012?
No, he came out a little earlier than that. He came out in like 07, 08 time.
Okay, came out 07, 08. Okay,
he was
cool.
with Lil Wayne for about 2 or 3 years, so that's the reason why.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because he was still, of course, we're talking about Degrassi, but yeah, underground. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, okay, so let's take it around that time then. Let's take it around that period then. Then I'm gonna have to say Kendrick Lamar for me. Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. And where my applause? I'm sorry, where my applause? There we go.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar for me. Yeah. Of course, hands down. Hands down. Kendrick Lamar, I say, well, Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco. Yeah. I've been doing ties. I've been doing tie-ups. So Lupe Fiasco, Kendrick Lamar. Because when Lupe Fiasco came out in 06, I mean, of course, he was rapping way before 2006. But when that Food and Liquor dropped, and when I heard him on Touch the Sky with Kanye West, I was like, woo! Dude can flow.
Did you see that list? Did you see that list? I don't know who promoted it. That list of the top 25 best of all time, and Kanye West was in the top 10. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but everybody got their own list. Everybody's list is different.
Right, and I did not agree with Kanye being in the top 10 of all time. I forgot what list. I cannot remember who started that list. And a lot of people got mad about Kanye being in the top 10.
Like I said, everybody's list is different.
Nah,
I mean, in some things that Kanye West has done from a music standpoint, has never ever been done by any hip hop artist.
Right.
Has not done, I mean, if he's in somebody's top 10, then if he's in somebody's top 10, that means that Kanye has made an impact, a huge impact on that person. Then, all the other artists that me and you, DJ Roland, we can name should be in top 10 instead of Kanye.
Right, exactly. I was like, I mean, as a DJ that played Kanye music and whatnot, I'm not taking his talent away because people keep forgetting that he actually produced a lot of music before he actually had his own solo album and whatnot. You know, I wouldn't say he's in the top 10. I'll say he's in the top 25. He's in the teens and maybe early 20s or something like that. But he's definitely not in the top 10. I'm just sorry.
We'll say Kanye, you know, his wordplay is on point.
Yes.
His wordplay is on point.
Yes.
I mean, you know, like I said, everybody's list is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's list is different. This is different. It is what it is.
Yes.
To be continued with this conversation on best artists of all time. Next week, we definitely got to do best groups of all time.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. Just hold it in your pants. Just hold it in your pants to next week. Because you know we got the big tribute coming up in the next hour. Tribute to De La Soul. Of course, you mentioned it a few moments ago. Paz, was he plug 1 or plug 3? One of the plugs. I want to say plug 1.
Plug 2.
Plug 2. I thought Dave was plug 2.
Dave is plug 2. That's what we're talking about. That's
Dave is plug 2. And Paz had to be plug 1.
Yes.
Yeah, plug 1. Yeah, Paz. And then Maceo plug 3.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't want to go by the plug thing. I mean that to me just is too much confusion. That's too much. that's too much. They were the first hip hop groups that I knew that were doing too much with the names. They were doing too much with the names. I'm like, no, just keep it simple. Paz, Dave, and Maceo.
When you hear the music, you understand why.
I'm still trying to understand because you know when I got the news about Dave, I learned more about him than when he was alive.
I agree. But when you hear the music and whatnot, it's going to be like a learning lesson of what he contributed to as part of De La Soul.
I got you.
Yeah. It's really different. It really is.
Yeah, I know. I'm a simple-minded type of guy, so how to keep it simple for me because I just want to listen to the music. I want to listen to the music. I want to
understand it.
I know, but understand it. No, I understand it. Just don't treat it like a math class now, because you know I wasn't really all that great in math class, but that's a whole different conversation. So of course we all know Paz was the only member from De La Soul that performed at this year's Grammys, and then wasn't even that long. The next thing we knew, Dave, of course, Trugor, the Dove, better known as Dave to many others, to many fans and lovers of De La Soul, passed away, which was very devastating. I know it was that one night I hit you up and I said, DJ Roll, we got to do something for De La Soul because of this, this news, which just was so sudden.
And that answered my question of why he wasn't there and whatnot. He wasn't well enough. So,
which, by the way, he has had health problems in the past.
Right.
Yep. And he spoke publicly about it. Yeah. But I got to make a correction. I misspoke. I will admit, I misspoke. So remember when we had Riddell Drakeford and Precise come on the morning show?
Right.
A couple of weeks ago. And we spoke about artists and some groups not getting their flowers because of the whole situation with Nori and Kanye West.
Right.
De La Soul was actually on an episode of Drink Champs. They were. They were on an episode of Drink Champs. All three members. I think it didn't get much attention, though. It didn't get much attention as shows like The one they did with Kanye West, the one they did with The Game, you know. But it's De La Soul, so
they ain't push it. That's what it is. They ain't push it out.
Yeah, I mean, but nevertheless, they were on the show. They were on the show. I'm satisfied. Maybe not a whole lot, but I'm satisfied that True Gore, the Dove, Dave, was able to live long enough for him in the group to at least get plenty of flowers. You know, I mean, they did a lot for hip hop. They did a lot for hip hop. They even performed during the last celebration. I don't know what you call it, but you know, remember when all the artists came out and they performed for, at that time, President Barack Obama. And this was when President Barack Obama was getting ready to transition out of office. And they had this televised event where artists and groups like De La Soul performed. You remember seeing that? No,
I don't recall, because I know that had been back in like 2015 or something like that.
Yep, this was back in 2016. 2016, 2017, somewhere around that. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, they performed for President Barack Obama. Yeah, De La Soul. And good news is that they are now streaming. So you can now get their music on Spotify. You can hear their music on Spotify. Their music is now on streaming platforms. You know, we've seen the situation play out between De La Soul trying to get their royalties and, you know, all this other legal stuff with Tommy Boy, their former label. Yeah.
Man, but it's just so much history of artists trying to get royalties from record labels and stuff like that, man. It's a trip, because the first person I ever heard that had that issue, the very first person, I'm not saying anyone else before him, but the very first person I recognized that he had so much trouble was Prince. He had so much trouble with getting royalties from Warner Brothers. I'll never forget that.
That's the reason why he had the name Slave tatted on his neck.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the music business.
Yeah, it is.
You know, unfortunately. But at the same time, it gave us De La Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their last album together was, of course, The Anonymous Nobody. That was in 2016. Same year as Tribe. Same year that Tribe put out their last album with Phife.
And Phife died that year. He was when they pushed that album out in 2016, Phife died like about a month before the album got pushed out, because on Saturday Night Live, he was scheduled to be there, but he couldn't, so they had to do a tribute of him during that live event on Saturday Night Live. I'll never forget that.
Didn't Phife died in April though? Because it seemed like the album released in the fall of 2016.
Something like that. I know, but okay, so I said it backwards, because when Tribe performed on Saturday Night Live, he died, and they had to do a tribute, because he's supposed to come, and he was already not healthy enough, but he was going to make it anyway. But he died like 2 or 3 weeks before he's supposed to perform.
Let me see. Let me fact check it real quick. And Tribe did a great job performing on SNL.
Oh yeah,
they did a great job. That was a great tribute to Phife Dawg.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know exactly where I was when Phife Dawg died. And I know exactly where I was, and I was so upset. And you know how that the old song said, "Last night the DJ saved my life."
Uh-huh.
DJ JC saved my life when he tribute a mix to Phife.
Mm.
And I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'll never forget that. I was working, but I was listening to him, man. I didn't care who was around.
Yeah.
I had my headphones on, and I was listening to V103 at that time across the country, listening to him.
Man, memory lane.
Man, yes.
Phife Dawg died on March 22nd, 2016. Months later, Tribe Called Quest performed on SNL November 12th, 2016.
Okay. I knew it was the same year. I just couldn't remember the time, but I knew it was the same year.
Yep.
When was the album released?
Thank You for Your Service. About the fact check it too, because all of this happened the same year, 2016.
Right.
We better find that out. Tribe Called Quest, by the way. And it was not only called Thank You for Your Service, it was also called, hold on. We got to make sure we fact check everything here on the Beat Break Morning Show. The release date was November 11th, 2016.
Same month that
that's the SNL. Yeah. We got it from here. Thank You for Your Service.
Yeah. And I think I bought that album later that month or December. Something like that. I know I went to an actual record store, and I know where I was when I bought it. I said I had to get that CD.
Yeah, I said that I didn't like the album at first. I wasn't feeling it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was a fan, but by being a fan, I'm like, okay, no, it's not like the Midnight Marauders or anything like that. But I said I'm still going to support them because that's my favorite group. So
yeah. And now I was definitely feeling the Anonymous Nobody. The Anonymous Nobody by De La Soul, same year as Tribe album. But their album was released August 26, 2016. Yeah. So they were 3 months apart from each other.
Right.
That was a great year. That was a great year for both Tribe and De La.
Right.
Yeah. Great year for hip hop albums. But I wonder if now that Trugoy, the Dove, Dave from De La Soul, now that he is no longer in the spirit with us physically, I wonder if they can still put out a new De La Soul album, which will have to be their last album.
Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it.
I got to check my sources. I got to call up some people. And ask them, can we get a final De La Soul album? Can we get a final De La Soul album with some unreleased tracks that we have never heard, that have never seen the light of day with Dave on them?
Here's the thing.
Can we get that?
I think it can be done with technology. And that's what we mentioned the first part of the show about technology. And we're still early part of the year. So I will say either fall or during a winter, which can carry into the new year. That's when the album can drop. That's what I believe. That's what I think.
Yeah, that is just such a coincidence, though. Like, Phife Dawg died in March of 2016, and then months later, November, we got it from here. Thank You for Your Service, the final Tribe Called Quest album.
Yep.
Now we've lost Dave from De La Soul in February. Black History Month, man.
Yep.
2023. And imagine if they announced that they will put out a new and final De La Soul album the same year.
I'll buy it.
I would buy it too.
I'll buy it.
Know it. Yeah.
I know exactly where I'm gonna buy it, at the same spot where I bought Tribe at. I know exactly where to go.
And it's not the computer. It's not Amazon.
No, it's not Amazon. No.
I know where to go, where I get my records from. Shout out to the kind folks over at DBS Sounds on the South Side.
There you go. That's what I was talking about. That's where
Hey. Yeah. But yeah. All prayers go out to the family and friends of Trugoy, who I did not have the luxury or the blessing to meet him in person. Like that group, I said, I'm going to meet De La Soul one day. I'm going to meet De La Soul one day. I met Common. You know, I met Cujo Goody from Goody Mob. I met a lot of great public figures, but I got to meet De La Soul. And I posted on both my Facebook and my Instagram page saying that I did not get a chance to meet this one member. And now he's not physically here for me to meet him, talk to him. You know, let this be a lesson, people. You got to cherish those moments before they go.
Got that right. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself physically and mentally.
There you go. That's why you got the mental space.
Hey, there you go. Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so with that being said, we got the caffeine and energy drink mix coming up. Special tribute to De La Soul. DJ Rollon is going to spin some other records in there. He's going to also throw something else in the gumbo there for that 1 hour. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait for our listeners to hear it.
You're going to be shocked, and you're going to learn from this mix. You going to learn.
Like KRS once said, you must learn.
There you go.
Celebrating 50 years of hip hop continuously on the Beat Break Morning Show throughout the entire year of 2023. And what I'm going to also do, Rollum and everyone, is on Facebook at me, Sean Garvey. I'm going to post my interviews with some of the best names in hip hop that have been on the Beat Break Morning Show between now and December of this year.
Cool.
I'm talking about people from Chris Kelly of Chris Cross, Eric Sermon, Sparky D, of course.
Right.
Who else we had on the morning show? We had so many great hip hop names. Oh, RZA, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post that as well. Their new season, I think this is their final season as well. The new season of Wu-Tang, The Saga Continues, is now on Hulu. It's back on Hulu. I think this is their final season, by the way. Yeah. On Hulu.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got so much to catch up on, so much to watch. Mayor of Kingstown. Shout out to Marcus Brandon for coming on the morning show. Y'all make sure you check his character out as Diedrich on Mayor of Kingstown. And got some more interviews coming up in the next couple of weeks. But like I said, we're going to work on getting Sparky D on the morning show, back on the morning show, and a special celebrity guest. All right. But in the meantime, between time, make sure you download that Podcast FM app. Also, big shout outs to our sister station, 101 The Vibe FM in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Beat Break Morning Show on 87 FM, 101 The Vibe FM. You can also check us out on Roku TV, the Flow Television Network, by the way, on demand weekdays and weekends. And, you know, of course, we always on TuneIn, Reach One Network. We're all over the place. SeanGarveyOnline.com, ReachOneNetwork.tv, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're all over the place, baby. That's what we do 24/7. At me at Sean Garvey ATL, at Sean Garvey on Facebook. Make sure you go to SenseJustForYou.com and get your order of oil fragrances while supplies last, and you can get 20% off of all purchases. Oh, don't forget too, Unappointment Check. It is still available on YouTube, by the way, Spotify, the podcast scripted series that I developed. So y'all make sure y'all check it out and support it. We are still working on brand new episodes for this year. We got that on the way. DJ Roland, before we close out, where can people follow you? How can they get in contact with you?
Always follow me at DJ Roland, DJROLLEM on Twitter and IG, and DJ Roland Townsend on Facebook. Yo, I'm telling you, people keep hitting me up through DM on Facebook for business purposes. They want DJ Roland at their events. So hit me up.
There you go. Hit them up, y'all. Hit them up for all things DJs. All right. And we got some more announcements to make. If you need services from us, commercial ads, production, pre and or post, script writing, and more, make sure you all email me, reachoncommunications@gmail.com. All right. So, yep, we're here for you. And you continue to be here for us. All right. So until then, tune in next week. The Be Great Morning Show, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. 87 FM, 101 The Vibe FM, on demand on Spotify. And get ready for this special tribute with De La Soul and some other surprise records. You ready, yes. DJ Roland?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stay tuned for the Caffeine and Energy Drink Mix by our very own DJ Roland, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, after this word from our messages and the station ID. It's the Beat Break Morning Show.